after we start, then we'll also have the recording if they need to go back in and listen. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michelle Bellamy, the Program Director of the MS in Information Technology and Management here at the Jindal School of Management. And it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to today's internship panel. Thank you so much for joining us. The purpose of this panel is to provide our current students who are pursuing internships some valuable insights from your peers who have successfully navigated this process. By sharing their experiences and challenges and successes, we hope to equip you with the knowledge and confidence that you need to secure and excel in your own internships. I have the distinct pleasure of moderating this session. And just for your knowledge, the format will be about 3 sections. We'll ask some questions about how your peers found their internships, their experience during the internship, and just some overall advice. But before we get started, we do have 6 panelists with us today, and we also have our program manager, Donna Nix, on the call with us. So I'm just going to ask you guys if you'll quickly tell us a little bit about yourself, including your name, just a brief background, and the current role that you have. So Donna, if you'd like to start, you just say hi to everyone, and then we'll move on to our panelists.
Hello, everybody. If you're on this call, you probably already know who I am. If you don't, you might be in the wrong place, but that's okay. I'm the program specialist for the ITM program, and I'm here to help you guys out with getting your internships reported in Orion, help you with resume reviews, and basically answer any questions you may have.
All right, thanks for joining us today, Donna. So our panelists, if you guys would go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us briefly about your background and what your current role is.
Sure, I can go ahead.
Absolutely.
Hi everyone, my name is Pragati. I joined UTD in spring 2023 and this is my graduating semester. In the summer 2024, I worked at a company named Bimcon, which is an automobile-based company in Michigan. So my role was I interned as an application analyst. And prior to joining UTD, I completed my undergrad in computer science and worked for a couple of years. And then I decided to do my master's here.
Thank you so much. All right, Claudia, would you like to go next?
Sure, I can go next. Hello, everyone. My name is Claudia. I'm originally from Peru. I'm a spring 2023 intake, and the summer I interned for Goldman Sachs as a data analyst in the Global Compliance Division. I'm currently studying ITM, and following my graduation, I will be joining Goldman Sachs full-time.
Thanks for joining us, Claudia. Citi, are you on? You're on, correct? Would you like to go next?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone. My name is Siddhi, and I was working as a project management intern for UT System for the summer. Before that, I was working as a software product manager in India for a startup. And I realized that the knowledge that I have is hands-on, and I would like to put some structure to it, become eligible enough to make database decisions. And hence, I decided to pursue my master's from UTD in information technology and management.
All right, thanks for joining us. Pranav, are you here with us?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Pranav. I interned at Adobe as a IT portfolio planning intern. The name might be complex, but it was basically a product manager role. I joined here in spring 23. I'm also in my graduating semester. Yeah. And I worked in India for three years as an analyst. So yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. See who's next on my list. Srivani.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me, by the way?
I can, yes.
Okay, perfect. I've been having so many mic issues. But hi, I'm Srivani. I'm in my second semester here in UTD and ITM, and I interned at PwC over the summer in their cloud and digital practice in consulting.
Hey, did I miss anybody, or did I remember everybody's names? I think we had one more.
Yeah, I'm yet to go.
Subodh.
Yeah.
Subodh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't mean to miss you.
That's fine. Hi everybody. I'm Subodh. I joined UTD as a fall 23 student. I did my summer internship at Fugro, as a market research and a data analyst. It's typically like a management consultant role. And now I'm still continuing with the same internship. I still have 2 semesters left, so I'm continuing with the same company.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys for joining us today and being willing to
Hello,
share
everyone.
your experiences. Who else do we have? Do we have someone else on the call?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Introduce
Yeah.
yourself, please.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Buchi Jesse, and this is my second to the last semester, and working full time as a manager of supply chain analytics. And currently, this semester, I enrolled for my internship as it is a required elective, and yeah, so working full time and studying part time.
Wow. Yeah, fantastic. Do I have any other panelists that I've missed on the call? All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining us today and being willing to help your peers through this process. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll ask a question, and then one of our panelists or all of our panelists can chime in to answer and give your thoughts on the question. And then we'll open it up to the floor for any specific questions towards the end of the call, because I know there'll be a lot. All right. So first question, how did you find your internship? How long did it take? And what was the process that you followed? So food for thought. And you guys can just talk away. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so well, my how I started looking for my internship. First of all, the class that we take, all the international students when we get here, professional development was really useful because I remember pretty much that in that class they mentioned that if we wanted a summer internship by September, a lot of the big companies will already finish their interviews. So I really kept in mind that date, even though it was February back then. So around June, I started applying to internships. And my case is a bit different. It's a bit different because I only applied to maybe 20 internships. What I did was pretty much network in person. While I was applying to jobs, I realized that they mentioned that if you belong to any organization. In my case, I belong to ALFA, the Association of Latino Professionals of America. So I just pretty much, and I want to give this as an advice, put myself out there. I started going to the meetings that were happening over the summer. So in one of those meetings, I happened to land a scholarship to go to a convention in San Antonio, where it was a 4-day convention, fully sponsored by Wells Fargo, where there were going to be different companies interviewing different master's students, undergraduate students. So I was really happy that I got this. I went to this convention, and there I interviewed with a lot of companies, but due to my international status student, I didn't get that many job offers, internship offers. So Goldman Sachs was the one that actually gave me the opportunity. I interviewed for 2 of their divisions for tech internal audit and for global compliance, but my abilities were most towards the data analytics side. So that's the reason why I went with global compliance. And I landed my internship on September. So since I started looking for it, it was June. So 3-4 months. And I remember getting ready for this convention that I went to. I really used a lot the resources that Jason gave us. So pretty much I was going every week so they could tailor my resume, so I could have practices with them, conversations, so I could be really, really 100% ready for this convention. So for me, what worked, it was the networking, and I really want to encourage you all to just put yourself out there. To maybe if you see some club that you like, you just go there, network, because at the end of the day, these are the opportunities that right now are more important, I think, that just being on one more number that just apply. So that's my experience overall.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Another panelist, how did you find your internship? How long did it take, and what process did you follow? Who wants to go?
I can go next.
All right, fantastic.
So So I think, yeah, there is no specific time period as to when is the best time to apply. And I do agree with Claudia about the importance of PD classes. It's they did mention this a very beginning to work on a resume, get it ready, get it done. But I did not listen, so my preparation started a little later. I seriously started applying from July 23, and I was mainly focusing on spring internships at the earlier stages, and some of the companies did start their summer internships as well, but I was applying in less for those. But towards for the summer 2024, I seriously started looking out from, I think, towards the end of November, and then I started applying rigorously in Feb. So there was no one particular process that I followed. I tried to reach out to people. I applied blindly on LinkedIn, as like, apply 20 applications as I heard from everyone, so I was just randomly applying. I also attended most of the networking events. Whenever I came to know about any networking opportunity, I attended. I tried to get the referrals for the particular companies that I was interested in. Then I also attended some of the workshops and the seminars, so that I just increase my communication skills and get a referral if possible. So I tried all the various options, and then multiple iterations of resumes as well. That's highly essential. Also, I got my resumes reviewed with the professionals who are already in the industries. And I also tried to reach out to the UTD students who already had secured an internship to get my resumes reviewed. So I think it's continuous, like, iterative process that I try to secure an internship.
Okay. City, do you have any comments that you would like to add?
Yeah. So actually, like Pragati said, I think the resume means a lot. If you show it and get reviews, as many reviews as possible in, that will help you reiterate your resume and make it ATS friendly. And I would suggest that I was very clear on looking out for management roles, like for project and product itself. So I wasn't targeting any particular companies, but I was very targeted for the roles that I was looking for. So I made sure that the resumes were reiterated as many times as possible. The reviews, it was getting reviewed by as many people, my professors, people I came in contact with at the networking events, and making sure that the uh, uh, applications that I was doing were certainly within the range of 100 applicants at least, so that there is a chance for me to at least get an interview with the interviewer. Yeah.
Okay. Pranav, how about you? Any advice for the crew on the process you followed?
Yeah, I would say start early because all the big tech hire early on, as in September and October. I was an exception. I got my job offer in March. But I would say keep your resume ready, modify it as many times as possible. Look at all the keywords when you go into a job description, analyze them, note it down, see if you can incorporate them into your resume. Because the first step is the hardest step. To get the interview is the hardest one because you're competing against thousands of students and your resume has to stand out and has to clear the ATS. So I think networking and your resume is the two most crucial part while applying for jobs.
Okay, thank you. Subodh, how about you?
Yeah, so everyone has covered like all the major points, but there is a step-by-step process which I followed like from the start of the job search to finally getting it. So a couple of things is self-assessment, first assessing your skills, all the technical skills which you have, and making sure that if you want to pursue a career in the same field which you have experience in, or do you want to pivot to something else. Then researching all the job portals, there are a couple of job portals. Handshake is in collaboration with our UT Dallas, so you can definitely check that out. LinkedIn is always there, and also connect with CMC to make sure what all other options are there, so that they can connect you with different people. The third thing is networking, because I've seen many JSON graduates who are there in the industry who have been working for like 3 and 4 years. They know how the industry works, so you can definitely connect with them, and everyone is eager to help. So no one, even if you shoot a random cold email or a cold message on LinkedIn, you'll get a reply. And obviously tailoring resumes according to the specific job positions, like specific brackets like data analyst or software engineer, and then making sure you apply with those resumes. And the final thing, which I believe it was most important for me, is the persistence and the patience which it took, because I got a lot of rejections, and through a series of rejections and a couple of interview calls, finally I landed an internship. So patience is the most important thing in this entire process, I think.
All right. You guys are just full of great advice. Suravani, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna echo what everyone said. For my internship, similar to Claudia, I applied very early, and that's something you should note, especially if you've just started here at UTD, is PwC and Big Four specifically, they recruit very early, sometimes even the summer before instead of the fall. You know, the fall is where most people think that recruiting starts. Big Four tends to push it even earlier, sometimes the summer, sometimes even the spring before. So that's something that you can take advantage of if you see positions out there that are open very early. A lot of people don't see that, so you could be one of the first few in and look into that. And then another thing I would note is networking is important. There's nothing wrong with applying to every position that you see and sending out many applications, but if you know someone or you know the people behind the process, it just makes it that much better. I knew um, our UTD recruiter for PwC, and if anyone wants her name, I can pass it along. But I knew her before, and I got to talk to her before I applied, and I would like to think that helped uh, push my application through a little bit.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so before we move on to the next session or section, I guess I kind of wanted to give you my thoughts on this a little bit, right? So what we hear from our peers is be engaged, because networking happens best when you're not looking for a job. So be engaged in those student activities that are available to you that CMC puts on or that we tell you are happening in the program. Getting involved and being engaged is how you're going to get networked. Make sure your resume is ready and that it reflects the keywords for the roles that you're looking for. We heard several of our peers tell us that, right? So use the JSON template. Make sure you have a good, clean resume that you can send out. Apply early as soon as you can. Don't wait for a deadline to come up or late into the semester, because that makes it difficult. You're reducing your options. And I did hear quite a lot of apply a lot, send out 20, 30, 40 applications. That's not a bad thing to do, but make sure when you're doing that, that you're still filling out quality applications, that you're not just going for the volume. Because when you're doing volume, you might make a mistake, you might miss something, you might be filling out an application for a job at the sports center and you attach the wrong resume. So make sure that you're filling out good quality applications. Filling out a good quality application should take somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes on the short side. So if you're putting in a good effort up front, that's going to translate to rewards on the back end. And absolutely the networking part is essential. If you know somebody who knows somebody, then utilize that, use it to your advantage, leverage that so that you have some way of putting yourself at the top of the pile. They might not go in and say, you need to hire this person, but it's enough for someone to say, hey, I know this person. Would you take a second look at their resume? So that's how networking works for you. So thanks for sharing that, guys. So well, let's move on a little bit to about the internship experience itself, and we'll do the same kind of thing. We'll go around the horn. What did you learn? Was the internship helpful for your career plans and goals? What was your experience like during the internship? And just talk a little bit about that so the rest of your peers can kind of get a feel for what it might be like when they do get their internship role. So Claudia, you get to go first.
Okay, sure. Well, My internship experience lasted nine weeks, and I can say that it was amazing. It was way better than I could have imagined. I really engaged with people from different backgrounds, from different places, from all over the US. Goldman Sachs right now it's taking Dallas as one of the a big headquarters. They are building a new office downtown that's going to be ready in 2028. So the amount of people that they are transferring here is enormous. So I happen to network with during my summer with over 60 people. I will schedule coffee chats. I will schedule catch ups with them just to learn about their job, just to learn what they were doing, and at the same time to try to secure a return offer because that's something really important and that's something that GS really encourages us to do. Try to talk with as many people as you can and try to learn about the business. So that's something that I did, and I can say that it really strengthened my communication skills, and that's something that I really take from this internship, as well as my data analytics skills because I have a bachelor in business administration. So, for example, I learned how to program in Python in the classroom. So I got to apply that during my internship. I got to make a lot of automatizations using Python. So I got to have that also tech experience, that coding part that I was lacking now. So if I will have to give like a brief summary, it's more that networking during your internship so you can secure your full-time offer. Work on your communication skills because that's something really important, especially when you give your internship project presentation, and also work on your hard skills so you can leverage all that knowledge that you have gotten in the classroom.
Fantastic. All right, Pragati, you're next.
Okay, so overall, it was a great experience as it was the first time that I'm working in the US. So I had an opportunity to intern in the machine learning domain. So it was something new to get hands-on with. Though I had a previous experience in IT, but this was a new industry and new domain. So we were a team of eight, four undergrads and four grads. So I got an opportunity to interact people with different background and different thinking as well. So my internship was remote. So we had a lot of collaboration happening over the calls itself. So it was a little difficult to communicate, but we had our team leaders and managers encouraging us. We had regular stand up and some other activities to keep the internship process like having more communication and learning experience for us. Overall, I think it was not only that I learned about the technical things that I learned, which included Python and also predictive analytics that I applied during the internship process, but also communicating with people from diverse background gave me an understanding of the expectations from employers here in US. So yeah, overall it was a very good experience. And my internship was for 10 weeks.
Oh, wow. All right, thank you. City, you're up.
So my internship was for 10 weeks as well. And as I said, I was working as a project management intern. Since I was working for the UT system, it was good to interact with uh, people from all the regions of Texas. So we finally got to meet in Austin as well for the summit at the end of the internship. So, talking about the research and the projects that I worked upon, I got to research for Gen AI and the applications of it and the risk management projects as to how they can help the PMO. So, these two areas is something that I had not worked on before. So, I got to learn a lot about it while researching and talking to people. Like Claudia mentioned, there was a lot of coffee chats, talking to everyone in the team, getting to know the work structure, what the in general, speaking to the supervisor, setting expectations, etc. So overall, it was a good experience, and since it was UT system, we were they knew that we were students and we were getting a lot of extra special treatment. So that was just a cherry on top.
That doesn't hurt.
Yes.
Pranav, how about your experience?
Yeah, my internship was for 12 weeks. I interned at San Jose, the headquarters, so that was very nice. I got to meet the CEO as well as the CIO, so that was a great experience as well. My job I worked in the ATS division, which is the technology division, which is horizontal. So I got to interact with a lot of the senior folks, and I got to interview them because I was helping them build a feature and also present to them, get their feedback, iterate on my feature. So it was a great experience and learned a lot. Learned how to present a story, how to analyze data, how to present numbers. So yeah, this is what I learned from my internship, and it was a great experience.
Okay, thank you. Subodh, your turn. How was your experience?
My experience was great. I mean, it's still continuing for the summer. I went to Houston. The headquarters is in Houston, so I interned there for 3 months, and now I'm doing remote for the next semesters. But yeah, it was great. I learned a lot about how to present your complex data set to the management who just wants to see a visualization of the complex data set. Not only that, I worked on go-to-market strategies, making sure that we are in line with what our global team has decided, making sure that I analyze a couple of data sets and make sure that uh, all the visualizations are in place so that it is at ease for the senior management to view it. And yeah, the communication was the best part for the internship. For the initial 2 or 3 months, I was just a fly on the wall. I tried to grasp everything I can from all the different experienced people who are in the company and made sure that I implement it in my work.
Okay. And last but not least, Srivani, how about your experience?
My experience was pretty amazing, I would say. I interned in New York City, so that was a lot of fun, besides the internship itself. But even then, PwC was great. They really did focus, like Claudia was mentioning, on coffee chats. That's something that they really wanted us to focus on was networking, um, especially in terms of getting that full-time offer. If you are at your internship and you find yourself having free time, meeting people is the best thing that you can do just because people need to know who you are. They need to see a face with the work that you're doing just so that they know that they want to bring you back. So that's something that I spent a lot of time doing, but I had 3 different projects that I was kind of on. All of them did a lot of different things. One of them was more PM focused, and then another one was analytics focused, and then the last one was uh, building a UI for a Gen AI chatbot. So I kind of did 3 very different things, and that I think is just an emphasis on consulting, is you get to do so many different things in such little time. And I also got to travel for my client, which was something that a lot of people didn't get to do. So I went to the headquarters where our client was, and that was very fun. It's a lot of fun not paying for anything on a trip and being able to write off every expense that you have. I tell people when I'm in the airport by myself, I wouldn't buy a bottle of water, but when it's with PwC, of course, I'd be like, yeah, let me just get a bottle of water. Why not? Even though it's $6. But yeah, that was my experience. It was amazing. It was a great company, great experience.
I'm glad to hear that. I remember my first internship experience when I was 18 and a half. So I'm glad to hear that you guys are still having wonderful experiences. Before I open up the floor to questions and answers for the rest of the folks on the call, for my panelists, just one piece of advice that you would give your peers on either finding an internship or what to do while you're working on your internship. Just one piece of advice that you think is the best thing for them. All right, Claudia, you're up.
Okay, so for me, what really helped me is the networking part and the communication skills that you can develop as a student. Someone mentioned it earlier, but I was sending previous to my internship messages on LinkedIn, trying to connect with people, trying to connect with people from Goldman Sachs and from other industries. And you have to, but you don't send just cold messages. At the same time, you have to try to find something in common with this person, because they receive a lot of messages and you have to relate to them in some way. And at the same time, try to be bold. In the same time, in the sense that, for example, a high MD from Wells Fargo told me that she decided to reply to me from 10 messages that she got because I asked in the first messages for a coffee chat. So which means like a face-to-face interview over Zoom. So that's something that the other 9 people that called message her didn't do. So it has to be about be bold, be respectful, trying to, and whenever you have these coffee chat, they are at the same time seeing you, seeing how you present yourself, seeing what skills you have. And for example, after some coffee chats, they were like, you know what, during this coffee chat, I was actually interviewing you and I like your resume. Send me your resume, send me your cover letter, and I'll try to connect you with other people. So this is the recommendation that I will give because this is what worked with me. And regarding the other question, the internship one, as an international student, I was the only international student within my peers. And I knew that I had to work twice as hard as them. So for me, the last weeks of my summer were pretty much me being in the library, trying to get my Alteryx certification, because before my internship ended, I wanted to have that to show, yes, that I was actually trying to get and to understand one of the big programs that they use. So that was something that people were really impressed that I got it before my internship ended. So it's like working hard and knowing where you have to put your effort and maybe working like the extra mile, because as international student, that's something that in this case we have to do.
Thank you. That's great advice. Okay, Pragati.
Yeah, so one of the main things I would say is start early, start now. So it's already September, and I did get some post on LinkedIn that the companies have already started hiring for their internships program. And so it's high time that you get your resume up to date, reach out to people, get multiple eyes on it, ensure that you have multiple iterations of your resume. So, as it was also mentioned earlier, getting an interview call is the toughest part, but also do not forget to prepare for it. So even if you get an interview call but you're not ready for the interview, then the entire point of searching for it and getting a call is useless. So along with applying, it's equivalent that you also study and focus on what are the main contents. Suppose like if I say for the data related, all they ask is maybe SQL, Python, Tableau, or Power BI. These are the minimal requirements. And even if you show that you're strong in one of them, then that would be more than enough for the recruiter or the hiring manager to be they would be confident that you know one skill and it's easy for them to maybe train you in other skill. And as Claudia also mentioned, I cannot stress enough on the importance of networking. One of the internships that I secured was through a networking event itself. So I got in contact with the CEO of the company. We just had a couple of calls, and they had only one domain where they were providing the internship, and he was happy to provide me an offer there. So it's very important that put yourself out, market yourself however possible, and ensure that you show them how interested you are in joining that particular company and what skills it is that you can contribute for them. Then apart from this, yeah, the main thing is that you need to start now. It's high time that you start applying. So, and stay focused. I do understand that as and when you're applying, you will get a lot of rejections. Not just that, but you'll also see some of your friends and peers securing an internship before you. So it's a good thing for them, but do not feel disheartened. Keep applying and trying. You will end up an internship.
Okay, thank you. City, your advice?
I would say probably first decide what you want to apply for, the role that you want to stick to. If there are multiple roles or a single role that you want to focus on, that's okay. Go to LinkedIn profiles, see as many sample resumes as possible, and reiterate them from people who already hold that position, your professors, your peers, anyone and everyone who is willing to take a look at your resume. Because after looking at that resume for so long, maybe you can't pick up something that the other person can. So I would suggest focus on figure out the role that you want to apply for. That's really important, and reiterate the resume as many times as possible, and get in that application within uh, top 100 at least. Yeah.
Okay, good advice. Pranav, your advice for the group?
Yeah, I would say try and reach out to UTD alumni because I think they're really helpful. And I did get an interview call because I reached out to a UTD alumni who connected me to the HR. So I think reaching out to alumni is really important. Sending out messages. If you look at a job and it's really interesting, I would say reach out to the hiring manager or anyone you know, reach out to your network, see if you can find some way to reach the hiring manager. That would really help. Coming to the job, I would say set up coffee chats because everyone really encourages that, and you get to know more about what they do in person and how what their job entails. So that would be a good learning experience, as well as you're making a bond which lasts even beyond the internship. So that would be nice. Coming to the interview prep, I would say stalk the hiring manager or stalk the person who's hiring you. I think you'll find really valuable information if you check their LinkedIn, go through their posts, what they're interested in, what they're looking for. That would really help you because that will help you in the interview process, tailoring your answer to what they're looking for, as well as getting to know that person better. So I would say these things might help you.
Okay. And then Subodh, you're up.
Summing up what everyone else said, I feel uh, in the when it comes to doing all these things, just make sure I sum it up in 2 words. It's persistence and patience. Just everyone else around you will be getting the internships. Just make sure you stay focused on your track, keep applying, and you'll get it. So good luck with your search.
Okay. Good. And Sravani?
I would say the one thing is be intentional, and that goes for both finding an internship and during the internship. Everyone has been saying, at least for finding the internship, being intentional could be targeting your resume to specific roles or finding people to talk to or setting up coffee chats. Just have that in your mind that you need to have something to target for instead of just kind of applying everywhere and hoping for the best. Um, and then in the internship, and this is something I even struggled with, was being intentional. Um, at least at PwC, they don't they don't put your path for you. You need to figure that out on your own. You need to find the tasks that you want to do. You need to speak up about what you're interested in, because everyone's so busy. They don't have time to lay out your path for you in your internship. And at the beginning, I struggled with knowing exactly what roles I wanted or what tasks I wanted, and I didn't feel like I was intentional enough. And then when I realized, okay, I need to, be more straightforward about what I'm interested in, then I feel like the second half of the internship really transformed because of that. So just be intentional is what I'd say.
I feel a new hashtag coming on. Be deliberate and be intentional. I love that. Be bold. Your peers have wonderful advice for you. My one small piece of advice is this. Everyone knows that you're going to have the skills that you need. You're all graduate students. All of you are going to develop and gain these skills in whatever different pieces, parts, passions that you have. Really pay attention in that professional development class. I know a lot of us feel like that is just a requirement. We're making you do it. It's going to be a blow-off class. I really don't want to spend my time doing that. There is a reason that is a requirement because as a university, we feel like those soft skills are the things that are really going to set you apart from all of the other people that are applying for these same jobs. So when you have put deliberate intention into tailoring your resume, deliberate intention into your speaking and communication and preparing for events and interviews, deliberate intention to what role it is that you're looking to fill. Pay attention to that professional development and those communication skills, those writing skills, those collaboration skills. That is what's going to set you apart from the other people that are applying for these jobs. So thank you, panelists, for sharing your advice, your experience, and the process that you went through. on securing your internships. At this point, we've got 20 minutes left, so I'm going to open the floor to everyone else on the call. If you have a question that you would like to ask out loud, raise your hand and we'll call on you, or you can pop it in the chat and we'll reach out to you and ask your question for you. So, Thilak, did I say that correctly? Go ahead.
Yeah, you got it right. My question is for Pranav. I just wanted to understand his Adobe journey with the team that he was handling, and just so that we get an understanding how it is once we do get an internship.
Sure. So yeah, I worked for the ATS division at Adobe. So it's a technology uh, side of Adobe. So we were responsible for approval of the servers and all the internal tools that was used by Adobe. So my team was the portfolio planning team, which is like a wrapper around the entire division. So we were helping the team intake projects from all the other divisions. So I was helping them build a feature, a scoring feature in that entire intake process. The internship was for 12 weeks, and yeah, any particular question that you wanted to ask, like this is the overview of what I did.
Yeah, so we were looking at sort of like a similar job profile. So we just wanted to understand like how your day to day was within the team itself. And was it sort of similar to the role you back in had in India, or did you have to transition to the new role or something that you had to prepare for?
I would say my job in India helped. I worked as an analyst in India, so I kind of could use whatever I learned there. Here, the day to day was like more of a product management role. So I was trying to build a particular feature, so I had to interview people, come up with the feature itself, and then pitch it to them, get their approval, iterate on it, and uh, uh, ship it to production, work with the developers, and then finally get it out to production here.
Got it. Yeah, I think that clears it. Thank you so much.
Right. Rajesh, did you have a question?
Yes, Michelle. So I have a question for Siddhi.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey Siddhi. So my question is regarding. So you mentioned that you did an internship as a project manager, right? So
Mhm.
so how to actually filter out internships according to our role preferences, and then is it like the project manager or the product manager roles are like technology specific, or yeah? So there are two parts to the question.
Um, Filter out, I mean, you just go, I would suggest Google, LinkedIn, just make sure that you have your alerts on for project and product interns roles both. Try searching more regional. So since we are in Dallas, make sure you're searching in Dallas, Austin, Houston, because
Okay.
and you can set another separate one for remote, but be intentional with the region. I would suggest start with that specific and keep applying for remote as well. I'm sorry, what was your other question?
The project manager roles, technology specific? Like, should we search technology specific or is it across all
Uh,
technologies?
so the at least the day-to-day responsibilities were not very technical where I worked,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
what you can do is you can go through the job description. Mostly they mention when they are looking for something technical, they will write it in the role technical product manager or a technical project manager. But most of the time they will mention it in the job description. If you're looking specifically for technical one, make sure that you add it in your alert as well. Does that answer
Answers
your
my question.
question?
Yes, yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Sarah asks in the chat, what would you say is more important between networking or connecting with people at the organization or applying to as many roles as possible? Since networking or asking for referrals takes more time for each role, it slows down the number of applications you fill. I'm going to take a stab at answering that one. And then panelists, if you have anything to add, go ahead after that. For me, it is more important to network. Yes, it does slow the process down for you, but the yield is greater. You can fill out and apply for 1,000 applications, and you might get one hit, you might get two hits, you might get several hits, but do those translate to an interview and an actual position? So I would advocate for doing the networking and applying for roles that you think you fill well, and filling out and completing good quality applications. And I would favor that over just applying in mass and a large number of applications. So panelists, anything you'd like to add to that?
I do have something to add. When you start networking, as Shivani mentioned, to be intentional, what you could do is go through the LinkedIn profile, as Pranav mentioned, stalk them, um, and just find out what are the topics specific to you that you can have a chat with them about. Include that in your message and then reach out to them. That will form a common link or a common topic of discussion that you can start on and at least have their attention. Instead of just sending, "Hi, I want to chat and I need this guidance." If you be intentional with what you need guidance with or what you're currently working on that aligns with the work that they have done before, you're more likely to get a meeting with them.
I would
Okay.
like just to add that you have to be very smart where you put your effort in, because you're not going to be sending 100 messages per day. You have to be really smart about what companies you're targeting, what roles you're targeting, and what people you're targeting. In that way, you can focus in having like a good experience, or trying to reach in a smart way that will increase your chances of getting a response than just sending 100 messages and not like getting a good response, or maybe even zero. So I think you have to be smart about where you put your efforts in.
Okay. I agree 100%. All right. We have another question in the chat. I'm joining in spring 2024. So when should I apply for an internship and when will the internship start? And also, can students doing the online degree plan apply for an internship? Donna, you want to help us with the answer to that?
Sure. If you're question one, are you a domestic student or are you on an F1 visa? If you could reply to that. If you are a domestic student, you need to have completed 12 credit hours and one long semester to be eligible for an internship. So if you're starting in spring, the first semester you'd be eligible would be fall. However, if you are on an F1 visa and you are starting in the spring semester, you must be here for 2 long semesters, which is spring and fall. So if you were starting in spring of 25, you would first be eligible for an internship in spring of 26.
Hi, so I'm the one who asked the question. So I'm a resident, and um, I I didn't get which. Uh,
Okay, so you're a domestic student.
yes.
That means you need to complete 12 credit hours
Okay.
and at least one long semester. So if you're starting in the spring semester, if you take 9 credit hours in the spring and then 3 in the summer, you'd be eligible in the fall for an internship.
Okay. Got it.
So it's for a domestic student, it's 1 long semester and 12 credit hours.
Okay.
And if you are a completely online student, yes, you will still need to complete your internship requirement for your degree. So absolutely, you can be applying and getting internships.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Donna. I also think it's important to note for everyone on the call, next week, Donna and I will be hosting a call regarding the internship process and all of the steps that you need to follow and the requirements that you need to meet in order to apply for and secure your internship. So this call, we were trying to focus on really giving you some peer advice on how best to get your arms around this and tackle it. Next question in the chat was, do you think LinkedIn Premium account is necessary? In my personal opinion, I don't think it's necessary, but it does give you some extras that could help you in the process. So if you're really pinching your pennies and you need to stretch your dollars, I would say you don't need to have it. But if you have that available and you're willing to go ahead and get that membership, go right ahead. Panelists, what's your opinion? Do you think that you need that premium account?
I can go for it. So initially, I did not have the premium account while I was looking for internships. Now that I'm searching for full time, I decided to get the account. And it is not necessary to have it, but you do get a lot of advantage if you have a premium account. So if you post anything, then it will be visible on more profiles, or you'll also come to know who has viewed your profile, and then you can contact them back. So in the recent, like few months back itself, I saw that a couple of people have reviewed my profile. I reached out to them and I was able to get referrals for some of their companies, or at least get my resume reviewed. So I did get not like everyone is going to reply back to you, but I was able to check and get some of the referrals. And I also was able to see that some of the hiring managers for the companies and the roles I've applied have viewed my profile, even though I wasn't able to get an interview call, but I knew that they were viewing my profile. So I was confident that my resume is working. So maybe like there is some little changes I have to do so that I can get more profile views or hear back from the recruiters or hiring managers. And also, I think regarding the cold mails, you have better options if you have the premium subscription. So yeah, it depends on you. It's not necessary, but you do have advantages with it.
Okay.
I will add to that really quickly. For me, it was definitely necessary. Before my internship, I was reaching out to Goldman Sachs employees from UT that studied at UT Dallas because I wanted to learn more about GS in general and how UTD impacted in their lives, and help them during their internship. So I was pretty much sending a lot of messages. And if you don't have premium account, you can only send 5 personalized messages. So it really depends on what you need to do with your accounts. So regarding that, you can get it or not.
Good points. Good points. Thank you, guys. We have another question regarding where do you look for internships as graduate students? Is it LinkedIn solely? Or are you looking in other places?
I can take that. So I basically search on LinkedIn, but then there are a lot of companies that are not tied up with LinkedIn, but have the post only on their dedicated job portals. So you can have a Google search and identify the list of companies that you're interested in, or or you can focus on certain verticals. Like if you want focus only on healthcare industry, or if you're interested only in finance related companies. So it's essential that you have a list of companies that you know and apply directly over the job portals itself. So most of the companies do not post their postings over LinkedIn. So you will have a better chances if you search for the company and apply directly on the portal.
Okay, thank you. And we do, as a program, also have things to help you. So we do have our resume book that Donna is still taking submissions on, and that gets you in front of all of our alumni, all of our former companies that have hired our students. And, we keep very close track on the companies that are hiring our students by semester. And all of that is available to you so that you can really target where you're looking. Some of you, actually all of you, are very driven and you might have an idea of where you want to work in the first place. And it might be Fortune 500 companies or the Big Four or wherever that you want to go. But don't forget, technology is across every industry, and even a smaller to medium-sized business needs information technology managers. And applying and looking at those companies that are hiring in our area and that are hiring our students can also turn into a very worthwhile and lucrative position for you.
I would like to add, I know there's been a lot of this talk about apply early, apply early. Please don't panic and think that you're too late. Yes, many of the larger corporations, your Amazon, your PwC, your Goldman Sachs, they start their process early because they're getting 10,000 applications that they have to sort through. There are a lot of companies out there, mid-sized and smaller, that may not even start looking for their interns until January. Particularly in this market, as Michelle just said, every company has an IT area. So focus on what it is you want to do, not necessarily where you want to do it. If you get fixated that I have to work for a certain company or I have to work for only a tech company, you're limiting your options. Manufacturing firms have a lot of product and project management roles. Every company needs analysts. The healthcare industry, there's a lot of analytics that goes on there. So if you're looking for analytics roles, the healthcare industry is a good place to look. And I had a student recently who was very surprised when he got a project manager job at a construction company and loved it. Construction companies are project management. That's all they do. So you still have time, and to expand your areas where you're looking. Don't get fixated on, I have to work for X company. If you can miss out on some great opportunities if you get fixated on, I have to work for a specific company in order to have a good experience. That's just my 2 cents here.
Well, no, and it's great advice because, and I'll leave you with some of these final thoughts. If you have questions that we didn't get to, please feel free to email them to us and we will respond to you and make sure that you get what you need. But my final thoughts on this, don't limit yourself up front, right? Don't just chase the check. We all know and we all are acutely focused on making sure that you have what you need to find a good job. That's the whole point of coming and getting this degree, right? One of the intentions is to get a good job at the end of the day. But don't just chase the job, chase the career, right? Don't limit yourself, chase the career that you're passionate about. And that means you have to do some work on the front end to identify what kind of role you want. And then look for those companies that have that role or what you think it is that you want to do. Yes, start early. Try not to get disheartened and give up. It might take 100 applications for you to get that one, but we're talking 100 applications across your time here, not all right now. It might take that long to get that one, but boy, if that one is what you want in a good company, giving you the standard of living that you're hoping for, or the experience that you're hoping for that will lead to that career, then it was worth it. And all of your peers are having the same struggles and challenges. The job market right now is slow, so it can take some time. So try not to get disheartened. There's going to be a lot of no's before there's that one yes. But boy, that one yes is really going to be worthwhile. Okay? We've got just a couple of minutes left. Any closing thoughts from our panelists? No? Thank you so much, guys, for being here and sharing your experience with the group and being willing to talk them through this. I think your advice and your stories are really helpful for them. So if you have any questions, if you're on the call and you have any questions that weren't answered, please feel free to reach out and we will make sure that we get you what you need. Other than that, I'm going to say thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day. Stay positive and keep your head up. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
And don't forget,
Excellent.
guys,
Thank
we
you.
will be doing another session next Friday on the internship process. So requirements,
Please join us.
reporting, all of those good things that you have questions on. We will be answering all of those questions next Friday. Watch your email for the link.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. Have a great day, guys. Have a great day.